And so I wanted to run some things by him for my conference next year and let him know, hey, we just locked in, John Maxwell for next year. And we've got this other big name that rhymes with Ed Milet that we're about to get locked in and under contract for next year as well. Hey, here's what I'm thinking. What are your thoughts? And because I wanted his thoughts on it. And he pushed my thinking even to the next level, just in that 3-minute conversation with Jerry. And that's why I do. That's why it's important. I write it down. I wrote it down in my 10X planner. I've got about 12 of them sitting over here on my shelf. Every day for a year and a half, I wrote a quote: get in rooms with people who think bigger than you do. And when we created our own GSD planner and kind of put grants on steroids, I literally had it printed on the bottom of every page. Get in rooms with people that think bigger than you do, along with a scoreboard. Like, how did I live today? There's so many things this planet.
That's amazing.
That help you dominate, but it's get in rooms with people who think bigger than you do.
What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the podcast of Determined Society. This is Sean French, your host, and I am here with an amazing guest today, guys. I am here with a man that went from a pastor to now he's a coach. He is an entrepreneur, a real estate mogul who has sold over $250 million in real estate. He's a connector of all people. He is a Grant Cardone certified 10X coach. I have with me here a man that has God in his heart. Ken Joslin, what's up, buddy?
What's up, my friend? Good to see you, man.
Hey, man, it's great to see you. You're always looking so much more handsome than I am. I got to up my level.
Yeah, it must be. I just shaved this bald head and it's got all these studio lights are kind of reflecting off of it. So you don't really get to see how ugly I am in person. I've been told in the past that I have a face for radio.
Dude, me too. Right.
It took me a while to realize that was a backhanded compliment, but yeah. Okay. Thank you very much.
Yeah, me too. I'm not very smart, but what I do know is I was like, all right, I'll do the whole podcasting thing. And then video came. I'm like, well, now everybody's going to see my ugly face on YouTube. So here we go. Right. Yeah. Time to get through it. So listen, man, I want to ask you some fun stuff before we actually really get started with the nitty gritty. So, man, do you have any cool nicknames?
Oh my goodness. I grew up, I don't know if it's cool. I grew up, they called me Joz, J-O-Z. That was my dad's nickname. He worked at General Motors in Pontiac forever, retired there. That was kind of his nickname. And then I kind of took it on in high school, but dude, I ain't heard that name in forever. When I was little, when I was like 8, my dad I used to love mashed potatoes. So they called me Spud. So I was Spud till I was probably 12. And then, when you turn a teenager, you don't want your mom or dad calling you Spud anymore. So I still love mashed potatoes, by the way. So now I'm majority keto. So now it's mashed cauliflower.
Okay.
I still do the same thing.
They call you Collie now? Cauliflower?
No, they do because of my ear. It looks like it. I did have somebody ask me one time on my ear. I've never wrestled. I couldn't wrestle in high school. I played every sport. Couldn't wrestle because I was like not wearing a trash bag, spitting in a cup all day long and not eating. I'm like, dude, I can't do that. I love to eat.
No, I like food, man. I'm not doing that. That's not cool. Yeah. Hey, so cool. So no one called him Spud. You heard it. Favorite?
Hey, I'm on a lot of podcasts, dude. This is the first time anybody's ever asked me that question.
That's what we shoot for here, man. This is what we shoot for. All right. Definitely. We'll get into it. But hey, what was your favorite cartoon as a kid growing up?
Woo. Favorite cartoon as a kid growing up? Probably Scooby-Doo, dude.
Okay.
Man, Scooby was nasty, bro. You couldn't, it was always the person you didn't think it was going to be that did it. They'd pull the monster's head off and it would be Professor Crump or whatever the guy's name. It was always somebody like, but Scooby was the man.
Scooby was cool. That little mystery man was awesome. I'm not going to lie. I love Scooby-Doo too. Mine was Voltron.
I like Voltron.
Voltron was cool. Voltron was cool. All right, cool. So any cool hobbies?
Man, I referee college basketball and I umpire college baseball. So, you know, I do. I haven't refereed college basketball since last year because I've just been so busy on our schedules and everything and our conference stuff. I'm in a couple of D2 conferences. And we just got an email from the crews, all the crews going out this weekend. It's the first conference weekend. And I'm like, dang, I'm not going to be umpiring this weekend. Like,
dude, I'm flying to Texas tomorrow.
Are you really?
I have a client that I work with. He is a starter on one of the baseball teams out there that is opening up at the Global Field. There's like a classic out there. So it's Texas Tech, Michigan, Auburn, and somebody else. So
I'll have a ton of buddies out there doing the umpiring the game. I got a lot of guys in the Big 12 and Big 10 that are
right on.
So yeah.
Yeah. So I'm flying out for opening day to support him.
Yeah.
He's a stud. I'm excited for him.
That'll be fun.
Most embarrassing moment that turned into your biggest blessing.
Wow. I don't know if I can talk about it on here. I was hanging on the door, the gym door in my high school, and I got pantsed.
Okay.
And then I got a lot of dates after that.
Well, hey, dude, that's what's up. You can talk about that on here. There's no.
I'm just not sure. Dude. I'm like, well, can we talk about that?
We can.
Anyway,
we can.
Yeah,
that's awesome, dude.
I may have stretched that story a little bit, but yeah,
literally stretched.
That's exactly right. Yes.
Awesome, man. Well, listen, dude, we'll get into it. Walk us through what got you here today, specifically your story and how it led you to GSD.
Yeah, so I've spent about half the last 25 years in full-time vocational ministry, pastoring churches, planting churches, and then the other half in real estate, top producing mortgage broker in Georgia for about 8 years. Like number one with Countrywide SunTrust, several years in a row on the wholesale side, 2 offices, tons of LOs, crushing it. And then, you know, everything just kind of crashed in like 2008 across the country. So went back from doing that back into full-time vocational ministry. And then 2016, transitioned back into real estate, this time doing commercial and residential real estate. Got teams with EXP in the Birmingham, Alabama area and the Atlanta, Georgia area. I have a great time. I don't wake up in the morning going, woo, can't wait to do real estate. But I do get up in the morning going, man, I can't wait to help agents who have never cracked 6 figures makes $100,000 for the first time in their life. That excites me. I've got one of my guys who's actually about to step away from his full-time position. He's been with me, 6 months, 8 months. He'll do over $70,000 this year. He's a full-time accountant during the daytime, works 45 hours a week doing that. And he pastors a church plant full-time, and he's still going to make $75,000 with me this year. So we're actually about to bring him on as a team lead, and he'll run that side of the businesses that I own. So he'll take over the real estate side. And then about 2 years ago, dude, I ran into I was kind of struggling. I didn't really have a lot of direction. I was out of ministry for the first time in a long time. And I was doing real estate. I was doing it, on the outside looking in, it was successful. Like I was making about 10, 12 grand a month, about 140, 150 a year, doing real estate. I was working about 15 hours a week. I really wasn't working a ton. Real estate just didn't move the needle for me. It wasn't impactful. I wasn't making a difference in people's lives. Clients, you know, you could probably argue, yeah, you're helping clients do some really cool things to some of the biggest moments in their life, which you do, which is amazing. And dude, I was just I didn't really have a lot of vision, didn't really have a lot of direction. And I ran into a little short dude named Grant Cardone. And, I told Grant, you know, later I've spoken for him down at 10X a couple of times. And I told him later on when I went to boot camp, 10X boot camp in October of 2019, I said, the businessman got born again on the inside of me. Something clicked. I don't know what it was, being around Grant, being around that 10X environment. And from that moment in October till January, my business grew 600%. I mean, I had made about $115,000 the first 10 months of the year, made $129,000 the last 6 weeks of the year. Dude, it was insane the way my business took off. And with that, you mentioned becoming a Cardinal licensee. I'm one of Grant's top licensees. Started GSD, Growth Stack Drive, with a dream, like in January, February of 2020, and then COVID happened. And kind of, you know, we had a live event scheduled for Atlanta, similar to what we just completed about 2 weeks ago. Had a live event scheduled in May the 19th of 2020. COVID happens, shuts all that down. I said, okay, we gotta I hate the word pivot, but that's the word everybody used. So we kind of adjusted on the fly. We started an online coaching program as soon as COVID shut everything down, grew that very quickly. Started doing some one-on-one coaching and consulting, really geared toward helping business leaders build confidence, gain clarity, and create community. And from there, it's just been growth, online courses, private coaching, private Facebook page, live events. We just finished our Create conference in Atlanta a couple of weeks ago with John Maxwell, Jesse Itzler, a couple hundred people. Phenomenal event, a lot of impact and a lot of lives. And so it's been a 2-year journey, bro, and it's been unbelievable. It's when you watch a rocket ship take off and you see their face and their skin, that's about what it's been like.
It's really cool. And I want to get to Atlanta. And I also specifically want to talk about your Move the Needle multiplier that's coming up March 3rd. But first, I want to, rewind a little bit. I want you to walk me through that moment of that revelation at Grant Cardone's conference when that businessman just came alive inside you. Cause I've been there before and mine was in a different venue, but I want to hear about your experience.
Yeah. So I went down. I literally didn't know who Grant was 3 weeks before that. Never heard of him. Saw an Instagram ad pop up. I was like, dude, who is this? Because I don't get around guys that have more passion than I do. I just don't. I don't get around many guys who have more energy. They're more fired up. They're excited about what they're doing. I just don't get around those kind of people. And when I see it, I'm like that's a damn unicorn over there. Where did this guy come from? And so I started following him and I told somebody this yesterday on a big podcast. I said, dude, when you start following Grant or you click on one of his ads, it's over, bro. You're in the matrix, bro. They got you forever.
You're in the wormhole, bro.
He is so good, dude.
Yeah, he is.
So literally I hopped on, a week later on a Zoom call on a Saturday afternoon for a 90-minute Zoom call with Grant talking about why everybody needs a mentor and a coach. And I'd been coaching ministry leaders and business leaders already for about a year to 2 years. And I got on that call and, 2 hours into a 90-minute presentation, he still hadn't even come up for air. And I'm like, who is this guy? And I'm sitting there and I'm like, if you'll just be quiet, I'm going to buy whatever you're selling. No idea. I had no idea what he was going to sell. He pitches the mentorship. It's $1,000 for 12 weeks. I sign up immediately. Get on a call on Monday. He pitches the 10X boot camp. I'm 3 days later, I'm sitting in Miami and I sit through the first day of 10X boot camp in that environment with, 500, 600 other business leaders. And I literally was sitting there thinking to myself, where has this been my whole life? This is unbelievable. And then from there, dude, just so many events, unbelievable things just begin to unfold, doors open. In the last 2 years, dude, has been an unbelievable ride.
It's amazing how things just kind of come into our lives when we're finally ready to receive them. Right. And what I mean by that is it's just a simple button that you clicked on Instagram and you go down the Grant Cardone, rabbit hole. And all of a sudden here you are with explosive growth, building community and helping others achieve the same dreams. So I mean, it truly is amazing how that works, right?
It's been crazy, dude. And he's been extremely, extremely good to me. I was on the phone with Jared Glant yesterday. Jared runs everything for him on the sales side. And I picked the phone up. I think he's the president, is what he is, COO or whatever you see. He's something. He's big time. And Jared's a real good friend. And I picked the phone up yesterday. He was eating dinner and playing with his kid. I could hear his kid in the background and I could hear him eat. I was like, dude, you eating dinner? He's like, yeah, dude. But I saw you call and you don't call me that often. I'm like, I had a question. And so I wanted to run some things by him for my conference next year and let him know, hey, we just locked in, John Maxwell for next year. And we've got this other big name that rhymes with Ed Milet that we're about to get locked in and under contract for next year as well. Hey, here's what I'm thinking. What are your thoughts? And because I wanted his thoughts on it. And he pushed my thinking even to the next level, just in that 3-minute conversation with Jared. And that's why I do. It's why it's important. I write it down. I wrote it down in my 10X planner. I've got about 12 of them sitting over here on my shelf. Every day for a year and a half, I wrote a quote: get in rooms with people who think bigger than you do. And when we created our own GSD planner and kind of put Grants on steroids, I literally had it printed on the bottom of every page. Get in rooms with people that think bigger than you do, along with a scoreboard. Like how did I live today? There's so many things this planet.
That's amazing.
That help you dominate, but it's get in rooms with people who think bigger than you do. And when
you have another interesting quote.
Which is what?
I ran across it today. I don't know verbatim. I mean, you'll know it. It's your quote, but it was something like, your goals need to be big enough to where you don't.
Yeah, if your goals aren't big enough, if you need an alarm clock to get out of bed, your goals aren't big enough.
So that's crazy to me because I get out of bed at 4. I need an alarm clock for 4 a.m.
Sometimes I do. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I do. Yeah. If you need an alarm clock to get out of bed, your goals aren't big enough. And like I just said with Jared, I'm thinking, X amount of price on CEO tickets. You're going to get a private dinner with John Maxwell. Like you're going to get a private dinner with John Maxwell and a private lunch once we get Ed's contract done, which we should have it done soon. You're going to get a private lunch with Ed Milet. Dude, where are you going to get that at, bro?
I heard a rumor.
Dude, I'm just telling you, it's insane. Like you're going to be in with, a few dozen people, Q&A, one-on-one time with John Maxwell, one-on-one time with Ed Milet, with a very small select group of people. And I'm thinking X amount of tickets. And Jerry goes, oh no, dude, that needs to be 50 people. 50 people is the size it needs to be. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, I mean, that's a 200, and those tickets are 10 grand. That's a $250,000 revenue swing for me. Mm-hmm. Off of what? Off of a relationship that I built over the past 2 years, off of him seeing how I've taken the stuff that Grant teaches and that Jared teaches as well. And I've literally put the stuff into play. And now here I am on a Wednesday night at, 6 o'clock Eastern time when I called him 6:30. He's at home and he answers the phone. I was on a call last week with a really, really good friend of mine, Carlos Reyes, one of the top wholesale guys in the country. Dude, he's one of the salt of the earth guys. I FaceTimed him on the phone. He was on the way on vacation with his family and answered my phone call.
That's cool.
And I had to ask him a question about outbound sales. Like if I'm outbound sales company, what percentage do I pay for high ticket items? What percentage do I pay for this? He's like, this is what he said. He goes, oh, dude, on high ticket, never pay more than 5 to 10%. And I was about to give a guy 15 to 20. You know how much money?
Thousands of dollars.
Yes, he did. Like off of one phone call. So when I printed in the new planners we did, get in rooms with people who think bigger than you do. Listen, if you don't have people like a Carlos or an Anthony Trucks or a Sharon Lecter, co-author Rich Dad Poor Dad, dude, I sat in her house a year ago on New Year's Eve in the afternoon for about 2 hours. She's just saying, tell me what you want to do next year. And this was 2021. Tell me what you want to do this year. Tell me what dreamed. I want to do a book, which we did. I want to do a big conference, which we've done several now. And you're sitting there with somebody like Sharon Lecter, who sold more books on finances than any woman in the history of the world. And I'm in Scottsdale, and her and Michael, her husband's a patent attorney, content attorney. And I'm sitting there and I'm just having a conversation. If you don't have people like that in your life, you have got to expand your circle, because when people go, it's all about who you know. It really is. It's not just about who you know. It's about the people like that. People that are super, and I'm going to say successful, but I mean it in the right terms. Because it's just not about the dollar figures, not about how big you can build your business. It's not about all those things. Those things are great. But everybody I just mentioned, Anthony Trucks, Carlos Reyes, Jared Glant, Sharon Lecter, these guys are all salt of the earth people. I'm talking about they're fantastic human beings. And when I sat down with Anthony Trucks a year and a half ago in Walnut Creek, where he's from, right outside of Oakland, and Anthony and I are sitting having a chicken salad, and we're sitting there and I'm going, dude, I'm thinking about doing this on my courses. I haven't shot them yet. I was about to invest $100,000 on my courses. Here's what I'm thinking. Nancy goes, no. Here's what you need to do. He grabs a napkin, but I'm sitting there taking notes on a napkin from Anthony. Dude, you've got to have those kind of people in your circle in order to achieve anything of great significance.
Dude, so who's from Walnut Creek?
Anthony Trucks.
Do you know who else is?
You?
Me.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Yeah, Anthony lives in Walnut Creek, right outside Oakland. Yeah.
Wow. Where'd you guys eat lunch?
Someplace downtown, right there because Walnut Creek's really cool, like the downtown area with all the restaurants. And I know he's got some friends that own a couple we've been to dinner and lunch several times in Walnut Creek.
You might have eaten at Lark Creek. It's my favorite place.
Yeah. This was a little salad restaurant. We ate outside. It was during COVID. So we ate outside on the sidewalk and talked for 2.5 hours, dude.
What a small world, man.
Oh, it's crazy.
That's crazy. Walnut Creek, California. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think that was going to pop up on today's show. I'm all about surrendering the flow and in the flow of the conversation. I had some other questions planned, but listen, we're talking about your conferences, right? We're talking about, you just had a big one. Jesse Itzler was there. John Maxwell was there. Craig Siegel. Was Amberly Lago there as well?
No, Amberly wasn't at this one, but she is coming.
She's going to be
she's coming to
okay.
Couple weeks. Yeah.
Jen Gottlieb was at the.
Yeah, Jen was there.
Okay, Jen was okay. So you have one coming up March 3rd. Now, this is called the Move the Needle Multiplier. There's some amazing guests, keynote speakers that you have on that ticket.
These aren't just, let me say this. These aren't just keynote speakers. These are close friends of mine.
Yeah.
Like, I walked away. People go, what was your biggest takeaway from Create Conference? I mean, dude, if you saw the clip of John Maxwell speaking over my life on Friday morning, dude, I literally sat in the chair and I'm crying. It looked like somebody stole my puppy dog. I'm like, dude, like the OG of all leadership is sitting here, and he took about 2 minutes just to speak over my life. Because of what he saw Thursday night and already Friday in our conference.
That's incredible, man.
But my biggest takeaway walking away from that conference was, dude, I've got some amazing friends. I've got a circle, dude, that I'll be honest with you, man. It is humbling to be able to have the friends that I have that do the things that they do to help us fulfill the vision and go after salt of the earth, authentic, genuine people.
I love it, man. We have a very close mutual friend, Noelle Agape.
Oh yeah, I was just on her show yesterday.
Yeah, I know. I saw that. Again, so that's somebody that I'm really good friends with, that you're good friends with, and I can tell you, just based on that, you do have some really cool friends. So
it's amazing. I don't even know how I met Noelle, if it was Craig or if it was Randy Garn. Somebody got us connected a couple of weeks ago.
Dude, Craig's another guy. Awesome.
Craig's my guy.
Yeah.
Craig's my guy.
So this event, this is going to be, there's two options to this thing, right? You can watch it virtually, or you can actually go to the event.
Yeah, I think we have 3 spots. We're limited at 30 people.
Okay.
The online event we're going to be doing from 10 a.m. Eastern to 3 p.m. We're going to be teaching on it's called Move the Needle Multiplier. We're going to be teaching you how incremental habits and incremental things in your life always lead to monumental results. We're going to hit specific areas in your life, personally, professionally, and financially, to help you see the needle get moved. Because a lot of times, man, we do the busy stuff, but the needle doesn't move. And whether that be in our health, whether that be in our relationships, whether that be in our business, our finances, like we've got to see the needle move. So virtual options like $97, killer. I mean, it's an unbelievable value for you to be able to invest in yourself. Live and in person is like $2,997. That's 8:30 in the morning. Got breakfast. All the speakers will be there except for Brent Go. Brent's a really good friend of mine lives in Puerto Rico. He's actually going to be going from Puerto Rico to Cabo. It's his birthday. He's got a big mastermind that Grant Cardone is actually coming to that he's doing in Cabo. Brent's one of the top guys in EXP. That's about 25,000 agents under him in his downline.
Wow.
Right now. He's crushing it. Everybody else will be live. So we're going to do breakfast. We'll do the 5-hour. You'll be a live studio audience. We've got a large LED panel wall on the stage. I'm going to bring the 30 people in our exclusive studio audience up on the stage. We're going to be teaching them on the behind us on that. It's like 60 feet. A third of it's going to be all the people on Zoom. And then the outside thirds are going to be our notes, filming it, the whole 9 yards. At the end of the day, when we dismiss the online people at 3 p.m., we're going to do a 3-hour mastermind. And then we're going to, one of my favorite places in the world. It's a speakeasy in downtown Alpharetta, just outside of Atlanta. So cool. It's like literally like you walk back in the 1930s, and we're doing a really cool VIP dinner there for everybody that's coming in live. So it's going to be amazing, dude.
That's awesome, man. The thing that I love most is how intimate and close you're making it for the 30 people that are actually going to be there. They're going to feel like they're really a part of the event, not just, people that are sitting in the audience. They're going to get so much value. And that's the thing, guys. If you're listening, when you choose coaches and you choose, speaking events to go to, choose the ones you're going to get the most value out of.
Yeah.
Right. Are the people, are the souls that are on stage going to value you, that are in the audience listening, paying money to listen to them and hear their story, right? I think it's super important. So if you guys are able to go there in person, like you said, there's 3 spots left. So go now and hurry and buy that up, because the people you're going to be at these private events with afterwards are salt of the earth people. They're amazing individuals, and they can truly bless your life just in friendship. So it's worth it.
Dude, I literally just went over the relationships that I have, that I've called over the past 2 weeks that literally have saved me probably $200,000. Literally, and people go $3,000 to invest. Yeah. Dude, it's the relationships you're going to build and form in that room will be life-changing. It will be game changer for you.
It's awesome, man. And I heard a rumor though too about next year's events. I heard that Sean French might be
Sean French may be a speaker next year.
Hey, that's going to be sick. That's going to be a lot of energy. You're talking about, you never met anybody with as much energy as you. Yeah, you better put on your damn seatbelt, dude.
And you're a former catcher. I love catchers. Catchers
man.
Catchers make the best umpires. Yeah, catchers make the best umpires.
Oh, absolutely. I don't think you ever threw me out of a game or anything like that.
No, I wouldn't.
Doesn't look that too familiar.
I don't hardly ever have ejections. If I have to have it, I've had 0 ejections in college. Yeah. One ejection in high school, and that was last year. Had a coach. Can we go into the story? I got about 5 minutes. I'd love this. Yeah. The story. I'm with a younger kid umpire. This is a big high school game in the Birmingham, Alabama area, and the big high school game. The team that actually won, the home team, not gonna name them, the home team actually went to the state championship. I think they lost in the game 3 state championship game. We have a play at first. It's not really even that close. And I got a young umpire. He's good though. He's really good. He bangs a kid out, and he beat him by a step. It wasn't even close. And the first base coach is just jawing him the whole time. He's jawing him. He keeps turning around, and my partner gave the stop sign. Well, he's jawing, going over home plate. Well, I'm standing there on the line, and I said, "Hey, coach, you need to go to your dugout." He goes, "You need to leave my." I said, "You need to leave my partner alone." He looks at me. He goes, "I'm not talking to you." I said, "Well, I'm talking to you." And I said, and if I hear another word out of you, I'm going to eject you. Well, about that time, here comes the head coach, dude, and he comes barreling out of that dugout. And I said, "Coach, I need you to slow down and lower your voice." And I told him that 3 times. And every time I told him, he got louder and he got faster. And I dumped his ass before he even got to the pitcher's mound, and he was gone.
Dude, I'm going to tell you what. Baseball guys we're interesting souls.
Yeah, dude. Yes.
We are. Hey, you tell us to calm down, we escalate. You tell us to slow down, we go faster. You probably should have just taken your ass and ran and just jumped the fence, dude. To be quite honest.
I tell you, what's funny is it's like, and the one thing I love about baseball, you can dump a coach or dump a player for the most part. And the next day, it's like, okay, we're good. Let's roll.
It is what it is. It's business, right? That's
exactly
right. Hey, I got out of hand. You go up to you. Hey, Blues man. I'm sorry, dude. Sorry I said that.
You know what's crazy about that story is that I had one of that was early in the season that year. It had been February, March. It was right before COVID. I get to the car. They're talking about, are they going to shut school down? This is right before a lockdown.
Yeah.
And literally I get an email that night from my D2, my Gulf South supervisor. I was going to Lee. I had Lee and West Georgia series at Lee University that weekend, and the whole season got banged. Like they banged the whole season that night. So I'm out there changing in my car, getting emails from all my college supervisors going, season's done. I'm like, crap. And that was it. So my last high school game of that year, I jacked me a coach. So
the last one of the year. Yeah, dude. I tell you what, man, that was an interesting time. And I'm so glad that they're playing baseball again. All the sports are cranking. I'm super excited to go out and visit my client tomorrow and watch them, hopefully get 10 hits in 2 games. That'd be fun. But listen, I really appreciate your time. I know you're running short.
You're more than welcome.
But I want to ask you, since literally you probably have a minute left, how can I and my audience best support you moving forward?
Yeah, our new podcast called As the Leader Grows. We just launched it at Create a couple of weeks ago. Got some pretty amazing guests on there. We'll have Sean French on there soon.
Come on.
Grant Cardone, Bradley, Sharon Lecter, my good friend David Pollack from ESPN's College Game Day, John Maxwell. We got some amazing, amazing guests on there. Would love for you to go As the Leader Grows. You can go to @Joslin on Instagram. All that stuff's there. Man, go check out the podcast, listen to it, download, subscribe. If you leave a 5-star review, we're going to take all the 5-star reviews that we get in the first few months. we're going to draw and give a VIP ticket away for Create 2023. That's a $5,000 seat.
Very cool, man. Very cool. So
yeah, that's it. Man.
Go rate that up, ladies and gentlemen. I want to leave you guys with another famous Ken Joslin quote. This is my favorite one. All right, guys. So grab a piece of paper and a pencil. Your talent will get you there, but your character will keep you there.
Yeah, I wish that was my quote, but I don't know if I heard that from John Maxwell or maybe Rick Warren. Somebody I've heard that a lot. I mean, you know how it is. The old saying is, I heard John say this. If I quote you the first time, I'm going to say, I've heard, John Maxwell says, and then the second time you say this, I've always heard, and then the third time you use the quote is, I've always said. So yeah, I wish that was my quote. But dude, there's a ton of truth in that, my friend.
I heard it from you. Right. So to me, you're the originator of that quote. And I appreciate you, man. And we'll definitely talk offline because we've got a lot to talk about. So again, thank you for coming on to your show. Everybody, share this out, tag us on social media if you got anything out of it, and be sure to follow Ken on all his platforms and reach out to him and his team. Great coaching program. Like I said, he is a man with God in his heart and he won't steer you wrong. So get out of Skull. Take care.